back again. So, rebasing. Rebasing figures is one of the things I absolutely hate doing. When I set an army up, pretty much that's it. I would rather repaint a whole army than rebase it. I don't know what it is, but I just can't stand rebasing figures. But in this case, I have been persuaded by my friend Craig to rebase my army so it fits with his, because he's rebased all his armies in this for Hail Caesar. So he's got quite a few, and I've just got one because I'm crazy and I keep selling my armies. I don't know how many armies I've sold over the years, but it is sickening. Kent, please keep an army or two. Yes, sorry, talking to myself. Anyway, so what I've done with my Carthaginian army is I have pulled half of them off, and so I thought rather than do them all at once, I'll pull them off, and I stuck them on. They've spent 2 or 3 weeks sitting there in the plaster because I can't be bothered working with them. And then last weekend it was raining, so what did I do? Finished all those ones off, and now I've got to get to and pull the other ones off. So I damaged them a little bit, so I've repainted here and there. There's some figures there that I absolutely hate, but I redid their skin just so they look a little bit better. But they're 8 years old, so I'm not gonna go repaint them if I don't like them. But all the rest. So yeah, Carthaginians. Do you like rebasing? Do you rebase, or do you just repaint? I've painted extra armies. I remember my Napoleonics. Everyone else was doing 6 to a base, and I did 4, and I just couldn't bring myself to pull them off and put more on. No way, just couldn't do it. So let me know what you think. Hey, cheers, guys. Have a great week. Well, here's the first stand for my Carthaginians. Hannibal and his wee fellas here. So these are Aventine miniatures, and I painted these probably 2 or 3 years ago, but they seriously needed rebasing for Hail Caesar. So, and as my explanation goes, I'm not very fond of rebasing. But that's the first one. Second commander here with a few Spanish screwdies. So just put the Spanish with him to kind of just really show that he's not the main commander. He's got little Big Man Studio transfers on him. And then we come to the veterans. So yeah, they got a wee bit damaged in the changeover, but these are for me, and I'm not too worried. I've repainted the spears and, well, some of the bits of spears. I have a bit of a different style of painting now, especially with the skin. But yeah, I still like these. That's the first one. We change over the other guys on the other side there. Move that back a bit. These guys have got different shields. The old Roman looking shields. So all the except for these little well, not the biggest tufts, all the grasses have been reused off the other bases. I've just got a knife and slid it underneath and managed to get most of it off. Just added a few extra bushy grass bits here and there. The old spears are a bit bent on some of these, but so that's my veterans. Next up is the Italian Hill Tribesmen. I haven't finished rebasing the whole army. Let me just
focus. I must admit the Italian hill tribesmen are some of my favourite Aventines that I have. Just really nice proportioned. Bit of repainting on some of the skin needed. I've managed to get some of the base colour on some of the backs of the legs. Oh, managed to put my finger over the camera there. Second lot. Pretty much after I did this army, even though I like the transfers, but after this army I pretty much haven't ever bought transfers again. I've just painted everything by hand. I mean, it does mean that some of the shields aren't as intricate as these, but I don't know, it's a saving in cost. I love the guy that's already thrown the spear. I think he's kind of rather cool. And we've got one more of the Italian hill tribesmen. So it'll be quite nice to field this army again and see how it goes. I have this thing where if I paint an army, I don't know about rebasing, but if I paint an army and then go and play with it, I usually lose. I don't know what it is. Okay, so you've got Spanish Scrutty. I've got 3 bases of these guys. These are Gripping Beast. Not too bad. Probably a little bit smaller, but gosh, when you're on the table you don't notice. Put that behind. And that one. As you can see, the skin's a bit different. I pretty much just used to put one colour on and a wash, really. Sometimes a bit of a highlight. But now I do kind of 4 layers. I mean, if you compare, like if I pull that round, and you compare, he's probably going to be out of focus. No, you can't really see, sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, so that's that one. Rather than just chuck another one of the same one up, I'll put on the last lot of guys that I've rebased. So these guys here, well, I hate these guys. That's why I haven't really. I've repainted the skin. So when I started, when I pulled them off, I looked at the skin that I had on here and I thought, oh, I'll repaint the skin, but I just couldn't bring myself to do much more because I just don't like these cricket bat boys and these huge thick shields. So I mean, I don't mind the guy on the front, but in general they're not my favourite chaps. I probably should have stuck more on each base, but hey, what the heck. Okay, so that's them. I mean, the flesh on these guys, because these guys are probably 8 years old, was pretty shocking. Just put one more up. There's another base of these guys, but yeah. So I was quite happy with the way the skin tones have come out on these. But yeah, I mean, you can tell, like with this here, it's just a single colour. Well, I just don't paint like that anymore, but and if it was for anyone else, I would not do it like that. So yeah, we'll just chuck one up. So while we quickly talk, yeah. So that's what I've done so far with the Carthaginians. I've got another possibly 2 or 3 lots to rebase, and I've got cavalry to do. I'm not sure if I'm going to rebase the cavalry or not. I have to have a bit of a look at it, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed the pictures, and let me know if you're rebasing anything, and what you think. So, cheers, guys.